There are days when the news does not scream. It hits you right in the chest because it touches the exact place where a season can be born or fall apart. Justin Herbert's protection. Slater and Joe Alt seeing training camp on the horizon changes the mood in Los Angeles. It changes the Mike McDaniel conversation. It even changes the ceiling of this offense. And today we've also got a rookie pushing, a veteran helping teach the system, and Herbert buying in. Drop the like and ride with me. The first story starts with the spot that probably kept Chargers fans up at night more than anything else. Because when Rashawn Slater ruptured his patellar tendon in August, and when Joe Alt re-injured his ankle against the Tennessee Titans in November, the offensive line did not just lose two pillars. The identity Jim Harbaugh was trying to build took a massive blow. Hearing both of them speak to the media now, hearing the confidence in their answers, and feeling like the process is moving in the right direction, that changes the whole temperature. Slater said he expects to be medically cleared in the next few weeks. Maybe there are limits early. Maybe the team manages reps, workload, contact. All of that is part of it. But the idea that he could be available to participate in pads at camp already shines a very different light through the shadow that hung over last season. And Joe Alt sounded just as confident. He also does not expect his availability for training camp to be a problem. To me, that is massive, because the conversation around the Chargers' offensive line cannot stay trapped in fear. Yes, this team finished 32nd in pass block win rate and 31st in run block win rate. Those numbers are brutal, ugly, hard to defend. But there is another number that almost screams back. When Justin Herbert and Joe Alt were on the field together, the Chargers' offense ranked 5th in the league in EPA. That is where this analysis gets emotional, while still staying strategic. Slater and Alt coming back does not automatically answer every question on the interior. There is still a left guard competition. There is still debate about the bet on Cole Strange at right guard. But the fastest way to help those guys? Put elite tackles right next to them. A young guard, a new starter. Any interior piece breathes differently when Rashawn Slater is locking down one side and Joe Alt is bringing presence on the other. And there is one more detail I really loved. Both tackles praised the new offensive environment. Slater talked about the effort and intensity in Mike McDaniel's outside zone scheme, even comparing practices to his rookie season. Alt pointed to Butch Berry. That tells me this is not only physical rehab, it is fit, energy, trust, and an offensive line trying to get its pride back. If those two are healthy by July, the conversation around the Chargers' ceiling changes immediately. That is exactly why the second story fits so cleanly into this conversation. If Slater and Alt are the foundation moving back into place, Jake Slaughter might be the new piece walking in without asking permission and turning a question mark into a genuine competition. The rookie taken in the second round of the 2026 draft is already turning heads during OTAs, and not because of some flashy practice clip. The point is more serious. Slaughter has gotten opportunities alongside important members of the starting offensive line and has taken reps at left guard with the first unit. For a rookie who arrived with an immediate chance to fight for snaps, that is not some random June detail. That is the coaching staff testing a real possibility. And I'll say this directly to Chargers fans. Teams do not put rookies with the first unit just to make them feel good. When a young player gets that kind of look this early, it means something about his body, his mind, his technique, or the mix of all three, is making coaches think, hold on, maybe this kid can help sooner than expected. The left guard competition is open, and this is exactly the kind of healthy pressure Los Angeles needed to create. Because the interior line was a serious problem. It does not matter if you have Justin Herbert. It does not matter if you draw up quick concepts, motion, outside zone, play action. If the collapse comes through the middle and kills the timing before the play can breathe. Edge pressure bothers a quarterback. Interior pressure can destroy him inside the structure. Slaughter came into the NFL primarily as a center, but the Chargers are already exploring his versatility at guard. That matters in a major way. A player who can hold up inside, understand calls, protect the pocket, and give you depth at multiple spots becomes pure gold over a long season. Even if he does not win the job right away, he can already become a layer of security this roster did not have. What makes this story feel like a real opportunity is the athletic profile. Slaughter posted a 9.97 relative athletic score out of a possible 10, which is an absurd number for an interior offensive lineman. Speed, explosion, movement ability, second-level reach, work in space. That speaks directly to what Mike McDaniel wants to build. This system needs linemen who think fast and move with purpose. If Jake Slaughter turns that athleticism into real contact, the left guard battle could become a lot more interesting than many people expected. If we are talking about the interior offensive line, the conversation eventually lands on Cole Strange. And I know plenty of people still look at this one sideways. I understand it. His 2-year, $13 million deal raised eyebrows because at first, it felt like a depth move. It felt like the kind of signing you make to fill out the roster while the Chargers keep searching for a bigger answer. But that read changed quickly. It became more and more obvious that Strange was picked by Mike McDaniel to have a real role, maybe even as a starter in Los Angeles. Then the question is no longer only, is he good enough? And becomes something else. Why did McDaniel specifically want this player inside this offense? The answer is already beginning to show up in the learning process. Justin Herbert said Tuesday that Strange, along with fullback Alec Ingold, has been important in helping him adjust to the new offensive system. That might sound small if all you look at is the box score, but when you are changing schemes, that is huge. Herbert is learning an offense that demands the ball come out quicker, pre-snap movement, different timing, reads tied to blocks and routes. Having somebody in that huddle who already understands McDaniel's logic speeds that up. And it was not only Herbert. Rashawn Slater also said Strange has been helpful, especially with the techniques used in this offense. Slater talked about using the game reps Strange already has in the system and trying to pick his brain. Think about that for a second. A tackle at Rashawn Slater's level valuing Cole Strange's experience in this technical package. That does not suddenly make Strange dominant, but it does show he did not arrive empty-handed. He brought language, memory, detail. Here is the honest part. The play still has to show up on the field. According to Pro Football Focus, Strange allowed 21 pressures and 2 sacks on 457 pass blocking snaps with the Dolphins last year. So yes, there is risk, but there is also context. After a rough start, he found some rhythm around week 13 and put together a better stretch in pass protection. And for McDaniel, the movement fit matters. Strange is the kind of guard who can move, work angles, and reach space. So I want to hear from the community on this one. Are you more worried about Cole Strange's inconsistency or more excited about his fit in this system? Because that answer says a lot about how this fan base is reading McDaniel's bet. And this is the part that, to me, puts all of these stories inside the same picture. The offensive line coming back, Slater fighting for space, Strange helping translate the system, all of it exists for one reason: getting Justin Herbert out of that brutal cycle of incredible talent, massive expectations, and painful elimination. When Mike McDaniel arrived as the Chargers' offensive coordinator, a lot of people immediately thought about the impact on Herbert. That makes complete sense. Right away in his introductory press conference, McDaniel said he had a quarterback he had always admired. That does not feel like a throwaway line when you look at what came after. He prepared around 100 clips to show what he wanted the offense to look like, including Chargers plays to point out where there was room to improve. Herbert said the presentation was well put together, made sense, and showed him an offense unlike anything he had seen before. That part really hits me because Herbert is not just any quarterback trying to prove himself in June. He is entering his 7th NFL season. He has already gone through too many changes, heard too many promises, carried too much weight. McDaniel will be the 5th offensive coordinator of his career. But there is one key difference. For the first time, Herbert will work with a play caller from the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. Shane Day also comes from that school. But now the play calling, the structure, the weekly design, all of it runs through somebody shaped by that kind of offense. And McDaniel did not stay at the surface level. He said he watched every NFL throw Herbert has made and took notes. Every single one. That is a real commitment. Herbert said McDaniel would bring up throws he barely remembered, or remembered differently. To me, that creates a different type of relationship. It is not a coach showing up with some generic playbook. It is a coach saying, I studied your story. I saw where you were special. I saw where we can protect you better. Now let's build something together. On Tuesday, Herbert did not even throw passes. He worked on footwork with a green medicine ball filled with water, simulating snaps and throwing movements while McDaniel watched every movement closely. After the reps, the two talked through it. And that matches what has already shown up in OTAs. The ball is coming out fast, whether it was Herbert last week or Trey Lance and DJ Uyunglele later. Quentin Johnston and Trey Harris also flashed on quick routes, creating short separation. It is June, of course, but the feeling is powerful. The Chargers are trying to change the rhythm of Herbert's life inside that pocket. I walk away from these 4 stories with one clear feeling. The Chargers are not simply swapping pieces. They are trying to change the entire environment around Justin Herbert. I see Slater and Alt coming back as genuine hope. I see Jake Slaughter pushing the interior competition. I see Cole Strange helping translate a new offense. And I see McDaniel diving into every detail of the quarterback. To me, this is the franchise trying to stop wasting talent and start building a real advantage. If you want to follow this season with me, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and come back for the next video, because this story is heating up.